John? Is that you?
Lady, we haven't seen the Chief for 9 episodes. Howdy, y'all. I am Adam, the Renaissance Nerd, and I'm coming to you with the season finale of Halo, the TV series on Paramount Plus. Blah-de-blah. Episode 9. Nail in the coffin, literally, for Master Chief. What they do to him in this episode. I have to say, I'm not surprised, but I didn't see this coming. Maybe I should have, but I didn't see what they were going to do, because it would never occur to me to do something like this to desecrate a character with the way they do in the last 5 minutes of the episode. Also, this episode it's criminal, not only for all the same problems we've had for the previous 8 episodes. Horrible dialogue, horrible characters, horrible stories, things don't make sense, people doing things that they shouldn't do if they're properly trained, blah-de-blah. It's criminal because for a moment, you realize the way this show could have possibly gone. And you understand that these people hate Halo. They hate the Master Chief. And what they've done was with purpose. What they've done was with intention to desecrate an iconic, beloved, masculine character. Again, I'm stressing that. I'm going to explain why when we get there. This episode is a fitting end to this horrific season, because I use an analogy. I've used an analogy over and over again that whenever the Master Chief left his helmet and armor behind, it was like him leaving his junk behind, his weighing and his berries, someplace where a wahman could pick it up. Well, let's just say a wahman literally does pick them up. Okay, so we are going to do this like we did it last week. I'm going to burn through what happens in the episode, and then we're going to dissect the worst of it and explain why it was terrible and why, again, it's criminal what they've done to the Master Chief, what they're doing in general to this franchise now. And there is no hope for season 2. Because I'll explain that at the end. Anyway, I can't put it off any longer. But putting off enough today. Let's get into it.
I can't let you die.
Find the Halo. Win the war.
Okay, let's do it. Whew. All right, we pick up right after episode 8. The highly destructive EMP pulse from the Forerunner artifact, which we still don't know why it does that. It just does it because of reasons and plot necessity, has knocked everything out at Reach headquarters. McKee has the artifact. She's on the run, kills a guy, forces another guy to take her to Covenant ship. Meanwhile, Master Chief. No, I'm sorry. We call him John. I forgot. I had a momentary lapse. We call him John because he's never Master Chief. Not even at the end, especially not at the end. John comes back after trying to get McKee and finds Kai held at gunpoint by Vanek and Riz, and he tries to tell them Halsey brainwashed us, she kidnapped us, and of course the other Spartans are like, no. Kai's like, yes. Here comes Captain Keyes and Soulful Satan Miranda, girl boss in training. Oh, it was all me. I did it. I can prove it. Vanek's like, no, mission. Yes, we have to not do this. I mean, it's CW bullshit. And it's bullshit because we're a bunch of professional soldiers. The Covenant girl boss has just taken the artifact and is on the run, but we're standing here arguing about brainwashing and indoctrination and feelings and emotions and who's at fault. Where's the professionalism? We'll come back to that later. We'll do a whole segment on the lack of professionalism by all these characters in key moments. But we need the plot to move forward. So they have to argue like babies so that McKee can escape, and they can have Master Chief and the other Spartans arrive at the last minute to miss her just by seconds as she zooms off in the Covenant ship. Ooh, good job. Again, plot. Plot says she has to escape, so let's have stupid talking. Again, CW writers, folks. Meanwhile, Halsey Girl Boss is trying to escape on her ship. Kai has decided to go after her. And again, while everybody else gets to look pathetic, Kai gets a badass moment with cool music and cool imagery where she blows past the Marines trying to chase Halsey's ship, and she leaps on there and busts her way inside, kills her cuck lab assistant, and then threatens Halsey, who manages to slip away and escape. And then here comes again inconsistencies, showing that these people don't understand the characters or the type of characters they're dealing with. Kai is a Spartan. Kai is while in the Mjolnir armor, a nigh indestructible Spartan. She could have just jumped out of the ship while it was crashing. No. She's going to ride it all the way into the crash so that she can have the badass moment of climbing out of the wreckage and being perfectly fine. All for Kai to look badass while Master Chief and the other Spartans fail in their little thing. Halsey temporarily gets away. We'll come back to Halsey in a moment. Again, there are no acts in this episode. It's one kind of stream of crap with scenes interspliced to ruin their attempted at intense pacing. Now we cut to Miranda's lab. Now John is perfectly willing to work with Cortana because Cortana did her face turn last episode. Now she's Team John and Team Humanity. Long story short here, what they probably could have done a lot of episodes ago, suddenly they figure out that the unreadable blotch of space where the Covenant might be is where the Covenant are. Yeah. Way to get there, Magoo. Good Lord. And now it's Admiral Girlboss says, we'll send 10,000 Marines. And John's like, no, just send us. We'll get the job done. I promise. So this begins the criminality. I mentioned earlier, this is one of the criminal things about this episode. I'm going to get back to that, but there it is. The Spartans are going to go on a mission. I think you can probably see where I'm going with this. Meanwhile, Girl Boss McKee arrives on Covenant Holy Land, Holy World, with the artifact, and they're all happy. But lo and behold, they're going to betray her because now all of a sudden, after 9 episodes, let's delve into how bad the Covenant are. Really, let's get a good snapshot that the Covenant leadership, the Oracles, what are they? The Oracles, they of course they're going to betray her because she's still just human trash to them. Yeah. All right. Halsey Girl Boss gets captured, but I'm going to just skip ahead here and put it on to one moment here. And Miranda comes into her containment cell and says, we're not going to, a secret military tribunal in the past couple of hours. Again, passage of time in all of this. Again, failure of passage of time. But we'll get into that in the problematic section of this review. We've had a secret tribunal in clearly 30 minutes, I guess, and they've found you guilty, and you're not going to be held prisoner or anything else, can't be rehabilitated. You're going to be killed. Okay, your Article 72. And Miranda's like, I wanted to be the one to tell you. So, yeah. Mommy issues. And what we're going to soon discover is, and you can tell right away by the next time that we come back to this, that fake Halsey, this is another Halsey Flash clone. Because Halsey used her favorite trick that maybe Captain Keyes should have figured out. Because, Captain Keyes was watching the entire time with virtual spying. Fake Halsey says, I'm sorry I hurt you. I wanted to just protect you, but I made you hard. I'm sorry, Soul Saint Miranda, Girl Boss. Will you forgive me? I shouldn't say will you forgive me, but again, these people don't know how to write relationships. Not even a bad relationship. It's just anger, anger, anger. Pretend to be sorry. Anger, anger, anger. Bad storytelling, bad character development. Meanwhile, now, Silver Team is on their way to the Covenant Holy World. it probably should have taken a few days. I mean, McKee got there instantly, clearly fast. I mean, again, we don't understand in this show the passage of time in slip space or anything. There's no concept. They haven't really broken that down. So everybody just arrives everywhere instantly. Instantly. And of course, on the way there, John and Cortana have their little heart-to-heart talk of, why did you betray Halsey? Because I'm Team John, and I understand that what she wanted to snuff out, your humanity, is the greatest thing you have, and I couldn't take that away from you. And I see that's what makes humans great, is their strive to find themselves and have emotion and me. Waste of discussions. And let's have stupid discussions that are completely unnecessary and false, and again destroying the connection of what should be Master Chief and Cortana. Let's create a fake story for fake Chief and fake Cortana that is kind of heartless and soulless and meaningless. But now problems happen. They hit the fields, the cloaking dimensional rift field surrounding Covenant Holy World, and they have to fight their way through it in some bad melodrama where do we really think they're not going to make it through? Do we? This false melodrama again of, oh, are they going to make it? I don't know. They might be spaghetti-fied. They actually says spaghetti-fied. Cortana goes, well, we might be spaghetti-fied. And Vander's like, what's spaghetti-fied? What's that mean? Well, it's twisted, torn apart. I didn't want to mention it because our survival percentage is really low. It's like spaghetti-fied. They think that's funny. They think that's little comedy, little MCU type comedy inserted into a tense situation because their metrics tell them that in a tense situation, we need a comedic line to break the tension and to make people feel comfortable. Why don't you have an actual tense situation that maybe for a moment we think that our heroes might not survive? No, we know they're going to survive. They have to reach the holy world. So they get through unspaghettified and they do their drop. And here, as I've been alluding to this whole review, is the part of the criminality of this. Here come the Spartans to do a mission. Why didn't we get this for, I don't know, the entire goddamn season? Why? Ooh, agenda, narrative. You can't have heroes being heroes when you want to intersectional feminize everything and have your woke SJW identity politics agenda shoved down our throats every turn. Couldn't do that and have girl boss Quan being the bestest ever and the girl who's the key to everything, who I'm sure is going to come back for us in season 2. Joy. So the Spartans do a drop, a 2-mile drop, which again shows how stupid it was early in the episode that Kai had to go down with the ship and couldn't have just bailed out and landed just fine. No. She had to crash, where we see them do literally a 2-mile planetary drop. Or maybe a mile, I don't know, but easily way higher than the crashing Pelican back, or the crashing ship back on Reach. So they all land fine. Infiltration goes. Meanwhile, as we said, McKee's about to be sacrificed to turn on the artifact so that the Covenant, Oracles, the hierarchy can find the Halo. And Silver Team does what they should do. They begin attacking. Although they get busted because as McKee gets closer to the artifact, Chief gets all stammering. Oh no, artifact is affecting Chief. Chief has to screw up the mission. So now here comes waves of Covenant. Battle ensues. They're all fighting it out. Chief's yelling, McKee, don't do it. And now we get John. I called him Chief again. We get John basically screwing up, not fighting like he should be. Everybody's getting their butt kicked, frankly. All the Spartans get their asses handed to them eventually. And John, for a minute, you think he's going to be cool. He's fighting, he's jumping around, but no, it's kind of sloppy. And again, sloppy CGI. Remember, the CGI is shit. Sloppy battle, and there you go. They fail because McKee touches the artifact and sends another EMP blast. Again, undefined origin, undefined reasoning, sends everybody away, blast the first wave of the Covenant away. Somehow the Spartans manage to stick their ground, and she's now transported to virtual Halo. And then John stammers forward, drops to one knee, and he goes to virtual Halo while the shit's going down. And they have their little heartfelt talk. Oh, John, this is our destiny. Come with me here. I need you. And John's like, no, we can't. Let go, McKee. And meanwhile, Kai does the one cool thing she's actually done this entire series that's actually smart. She shoots McKee. That's right. They killed girl boss McKee. But of course, John didn't do it. Another wahman had to do it. Could have had Vanek do it. That might have been okay. Nope. Can't have a dude kill a chick. Can't have that. Can't have it. Intersectional feminism on display. It gets worse. We haven't even reached the pinnacle of intersectionality. We're not there yet. We're about to be, though. So we get John gets blipped out of virtual Halo, and Silver Team goes down. Here come the Covenant. Cortana is bleeding. How he can't rescue everybody and save the artifact, and Kai's like, "You have to get the artifact. Get out of here." And John's like, "No, I'm going to save everybody and the artifact, but I can't touch the artifact because I'm a guffin. Plot device. If I touch the artifact, bad things will happen to everybody, and I'll be zonked out." So here we go, folks. The complete and final castration of Master Chief John 117 in this Halo TV show. John admits he can't do it. He's not strong enough or good enough. And gosh darn it, people don't like him. So what does he do? He says to Cortana, "You have to take me over. We have to complete Halsey's plan. Only you can do it, Cortana, in my body." Oh, we're going to unpack this. We're going to unpack this. I got to finish it. We're almost done. And Chief John dies. And Cortana takes over. And she is the most badass chief we've been waiting for 9 episodes. Here's the Master Chief that we are when we play the video game. The guy who takes on immeasurable numbers and comes out on top. Of course, no, it's not a guy. It's a female wahman digital AI in a man's body. Again, we're going to unpack this in a moment. Oh, God, these writers suck. Oh, so Cortana as Cortana Chief, we'll just call it Cortana Chief, does the impossible and kicks everybody's ass in a massive display of awesome, what should have been Master Chief badassery. Gets the artifact, forgets to shoot the Covenant leadership hovering right there, yelling orders the entire time. Let's ignore them. And they get out of there and they escape. And meanwhile, back on Earth, they're trying to put the pieces together. Halsey's escaped. And we get a nice little monologue of Halsey about the fragility of humanity and how it needs to transcend itself, and how now obviously she escapes to continue her good work. And episode ends with, as you saw in the intro clip, "Chief, is that you?" And it's like, God damn, this show sucks. These writers sucks. All right, let's unpack everything that is wrong here, whether it was on display, aside from the usual bad storytelling, bad characters, bad pacing. Let's unpack it, shall we?
You must maintain the precise line. If we veer too far in the wrong direction, the ship will be spaghettified by tidal forces.
Whoa, spaghettified.
Stretched, twisted, torn apart.
Right. And you didn't think I should know this before we left?
Episode 9 is terrible, more so than any other episode has been for the entire season. One, because it continues the season-long track record of bad writing, which equals bad dialogue, characters behaving stupidly, and failing to comprehend some general concepts that would make you feel like the world is alive, and it's an actual place that could be. Secondly, it is criminal, because by giving us this Silver Team mission to retrieve the artifact, they reveal the exact type of show they should have given us all season. That they are capable of that kind of concept, but they didn't do it. Because they hate you, they hate me, they hate Halo, they hate fans, they hate nerds. Of course, the third and final atrocity is the, as I've said many times now, the complete emasculation of Master Chief by literally putting a woman in his body. And we're going to unpack that when we get there, but we start with the normal stuff. As always, this show fails in both pacing, storytelling, character development, reasoning, general logical reasoning, and falls through the plot holes that they've had littered all over the place this entire season. As I've mentioned during the review section or the recap section, none of these people act like professionals. None. Do the job, then worry about your melodrama shit later. You're supposed to be goddamn professionals, especially military professionals. No, we're going to argue about pointless shit while McKee escapes with the artifact. Great. We're going to invade Covenant Holy World, kill a bunch of Covenant, take the artifact. We're going to ignore, and don't tell me Cortana Chief would have known. This is Cortana, Chief Cortana, who sees and knows everything. Don't tell me you're not going to realize the three hovering idiots are issuing orders and in charge. You cut the head off the snake right there. Boom, boom, boom. Nope, let's ignore that obvious thing. Covenant leadership right there. Yes, you may not know it, but they're yelling orders. Take the logical leap and shoot them. No, we're going to keep shooting grunts and brutes and elite. No, let's not shoot the guys yelling the orders. Okay. Simple concept, again, of time. How long should it take to get someplace? People just seem to instantly get places here. They do the same shit all over the place, and they just assume we're going to think, oh, okay, here's story. Oh, time just passed. No. Especially when you have, again, bad pacing going on. When you have all these events seemingly happening simultaneously, you're cutting back and forth as though all these things are happening at the same time when they can't possibly be happening at the same time. Not possible. The physics of time and space do not allow it. And as I say, jumping back and forth, again, the usual problems that this show has had from the very beginning of let's do something, and complete stop, cut to a scene of meaningless gibberish and walking and talking or sitting and talking after we just built up, oh, here comes Silver Team, they're coming up on the base. Oh, we're going to cut to Soulful Saint Miranda girl boss talking to fake Halsey girl boss. Oh, Silver Team's getting the shit of it. Oh, let's cut to fake Halsey dying. Let's call to a conversation about something else. These people do not understand how to structure a story, how to properly lay it all out. The entire Silver Team insertion and attack should have been one seamless scene. No breaks, no nothing. You don't need a break from that. You don't need to insert bad humor, spaghettified. They don't know what they're doing. These are bad writers. These are bad screenwriters. These are bad showrunners, directors. Everybody involved in this doesn't know what they're doing. Maybe they would have known what they were doing if they'd read the goddamn source material, played the goddamn source material. Nope, sorry. We're just going to shove it all aside and throw in a music clip here and there. During the major battle, oh, now we get a riff of dun 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 dun. No, let's put that in there real subtle. Let's add a little Halo choral chanting here and there. And speaking of the Halo, yes, everybody, we went in the entire season without seeing the Halo in the Halo show. And no, I'm sorry. Virtual Halo doesn't count. Dream Sequence Halo does not count. Went the entire season without actually setting physical foot, on a Halo. Oh my goodness. And I know the stands are going to go, see, you ungrateful, toxic nerds. You got the Spartans fighting Covenant. It was awesome. No, it wasn't awesome. It was a goddamn choreography mess of bad CGI and our heroes, the Spartans, getting their asses kicked. Which, of course, leads me to the second issue here. The criminality of the episode that we could have gotten every week.
Number G, on me.
The entire back half of this episode makes you realize that they understood the concept of sending the Spartans on missions against the Covenant. They understood this concept, and they saved it for the final episode for one scene. They could have done this the whole season, and it might have, even though this is an alternate reality, a different continuity, it might have pacified myself and others who would have wanted to see the actual game, at least giving us Spartan missions, the Spartans in action every episode, with maybe one episode in the middle of it as a downtime episode where now we're going to reflect on things that have happened and get some more character development on each of the Spartans. They could have done that, and that might have been interesting. It might have been closer to Halo. Instead of, let's do 25 million wahman girl boss storylines, especially the girl who's the key to everything, girl boss in training goes to girl boss camp storyline. Let's do all that stuff. Let's do pathetic emotional stresses, melodrama that you find on the goddamn CW. Let's do all of that instead of sending the Spartans on mission in an action science fiction show. They understood they could have done that. And to me, from my perspective, that just proves that they hate everybody. They hate everybody who likes Halo. And they purposefully, maliciously, intentionally set out to give us this CW-fied version where 90% of the show is sitting and talking, walking and talking. I'm discovering myself. You're discovering yourself. Let's have awkward sex. They never cared. This proves that somebody there understood that here's a scene of what people might like. Could have just done it the whole time. That's why I call it criminal. They knew it, and they didn't do it. And they didn't do it on purpose. All for the sake of their woke, intersectional, identity politics, far leftist in some cases agenda. But that's not even the worst of it. The worst of it is this. Nine episodes waiting for the Master Chief to arrive, to be there, to be the ultimate badass that we all wanted to see. And it's not even the Master Chief. In that moment, that's Cortana inside the Master Chief's body. Now, I've been saying, let's unpack this. There's a lot here to unpack. First of all, again, as I just said, this is done with malicious intent. They know goddamn well that it is a kick to our collective nuts to give us a badass Master Chief, but it's a woman inhabiting his body. Because Cortana's a woman. It's a female entity. Insult. Let's literally give the Master Chief's cock and balls, his helmet and his armor, to a woman and let her do it better than him. Intersectionality, full and complete. The emasculation of the Master Chief is done. There it is. His most badass moment in the show where he saves everybody isn't even done by him. It's done by a woman who did it better than any other moment in the show where the Master Chief the couple of times he had an action sequence, no, Cortana did it better. She didn't want to, but she did because John said she can do it better. Again, the affirmation, Cortana, you're the only one who can do it. You're the only one who can save us all. My goodness. They can't help themselves because they did this on purpose. They wanted to destroy, and they did it bit by bit. I should have seen this coming. I admit I didn't. I didn't even conceive that they would let Cortana take him over and be super badass mode, go into God mode and destroy everything. But Adam, he couldn't touch the artifact, so Cortana had to do it. Bullshit. Plot convenience. I don't know. Instead of having one of the other ones carry one of the other Spartans, John could have held up one Spartan and then, I don't know, Vanek could have carried the goddamn artifact. He's just as strong. No. Had to be that. And let's not forget, right there, when Cortana's busy shooting stuff, again, failure to kill the leadership, the Covenant hierarchy, right there, right above. You can see it while she's busy shooting and not even looking while she's shooting. 360-degree vision. She could see it all. She could have gone like this. Boom, 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 boom. Could have done it. Nope, sorry. Let's not actually think that through. Let's not think it through, shall we? Let's just have it look all badass and flashy so the fake fans will be like, oh, wow, it's really cool. No, let's give an actual thought to the moment of, wow, she's shooting everything in sight. Why didn't she shoot the Covenant hierarchy right behind her? Despair, mercy, and whatever the other one's called. I don't know. They don't want masculine, cis heroes. And I use their terminology because that's how I make it clear in this. They don't want straight white heroes. They want to get rid of the cis heteronormacy. That's why I wanted to make sure we establish their terminology. Because remember, Master Chief, he's straight. He got it on, weirdly, but he got it on. Nope. Let's show that anybody can inhabit the masculine body. Yeah, I'm going there because they went there. I don't want to talk about this crap, but they went there by putting a woman inside a man's body and showing that anybody can be great in whatever body they identify themselves as. F you pieces of identitarian shit. You've destroyed the Master Chief. Yeah, of course he's going to come back next season, but it's the damage is done. His most badass moment wasn't him. It was a woman inhabiting his body for your little trans allegory. Because we know that's what it was. That's all these people care about. Their agenda, their narrative. And for anybody who says, you're complaining about the SJWs. Well, this is why we complain about them. Because they're writing this shit and they're inserting it in there. You're an idiot if you think that complaining about SJWs has nothing to do with complaining about how bad the show is. You're a moron. And you're nearsighted and short-sighted, and you do not understand that the SJWs, the woke identitarians, the virtue signalers, the intersectionalists, the far-left fascist Marxists are all writing this shit and putting it out there. And there are normies out there who are not informed who will lap it up and think it's good. I'm here to inform you that this intersectional identity shit is poison. And they have destroyed an iconic character to get their message across, because that's what that message is right there. Don't lie to yourself. Don't try and tell me I'm pretending I'm just being an angry, toxic nerd. No, it's the truth. And if you deny it, well, you have a problem and you need to go seek help.
Stay with me, Tom.
You have to let go.
Oh, I would love to let this go, but I can't. This is part of my job now. Part of what this channel does. Aside from all the other plans I hope to sprout forth from a successful YouTube channel, Part of my job right now is to cover this crap so you don't have to, and so that maybe a normie might come along and be informed. It's my job, it's many other channels' jobs to let you know what's going on, to let you know that this shit is infected by the poison of woke, identitarian, intersectionalist, SJW, far-left, fascist, Marxist agenda. What we are trying to do to win this war. Because you learn enough people, and if they get truly awakened, not just woke, but awakened to the truth, then we start winning the fight. We start pushing back. Oh, you're complaining too much about SJWs. Go touch some grass. You're toxic. You're a bigot. You're a dumb little toxic nerd. Let me pose this to you. Those who are complaining, oh, you should be focusing more on how just it's bad. Why are you injecting the SJW battle into this? Because that's what this is all about. Just imagine, get in the Wayback Machine and imagine with me, what would it have been like if someone had been there reporting, letting everybody know, making everybody pay attention when Star Wars got infested with the woke, when Star Trek went full SJW, when Doctor Who got overrun by identitarianism. Just imagine if we had fought the battle then instead of fighting this desperate battle that we are now. They never would have made it to Halo. Understand that, you idiots? They never would have touched Halo because we would have stopped them at the bigger franchises, the more well-known franchises. But nope, they've made it all the way down to Halo. They made it to Wheel of Time. They're going to keep going and going and going. And they're going to keep destroying things unless we keep alerting people to the fact that a show like Halo is nothing but agenda-driven crap. Quan, Girl Boss Halsey, Girl Boss Admiral, Soulful Saint Miranda Girl Boss, they got the majority of the story in this season. The other part of it went to John, and then, I Want to Be a Girl Boss Kai. One guy had an actual story. Soren doesn't count. He was barely in it. Captain Keyes was a side player. Covenant were non-existent until only 3 times we see them. It was all about women, their emotions, their feelings. The one guy that did have a major arc, John, it was all about finding himself on his emotional journey. While the other Spartan that got her emotions back, well, she did all the manly, masculine things that John maybe should be doing to find himself. No, she found herself. She might find herself in Miranda's bed next season. Who knows? I still think they might go there. Because it's all about agenda. It's all about agenda, especially when you literally replace a man with a woman in the man's body. They did it on purpose. They did it without regret. They did it to hurt you. They did it to hurt me. They did it to hurt the franchise. They salt the earth as they go. So when they're done with their agenda, when they're done pushing their narrative and they move on like locusts to the next franchise, the earth is salted. Nothing will grow. No one's going to want to touch Halo because it did so poorly. That's what's going to happen with Wheel of Time. That's what's happened with Disney Star Wars. JJ Trek, Kurtzman Trek, Doctor Who, and its continuing outrageous things. They salt the earth and they move on to the next one. Like I said, imagine if we had stopped them at Star Wars, stopped them at Star Trek, they never would have made it to Halo. And maybe, just maybe, we would have gotten an actual story about the Master Chief doing what he does best, kicking alien ass with his partner Cortana, cheering him along and having his back from the very beginning. Excuse me. The season is over, but it's not over because season 2's coming, and I've got more horrible television to watch. Next week, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, somebody save me. Oh, we're done here. Thanks for watching the review. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. Share the video around. Watch the other reviews if you want to catch up. And subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I invite you to. Check out my other reviews. Check out my other videos. Check out my other streams. You might find you like it here. And as always, F to the cowardly keyboard writing SJWs and stands. I don't care what you think. We'll never care what you think because you are just cowards behind keyboards. And you will lose your power. Go cry. All right. Good night, everybody. See you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to get in touch with me, you can reach out to me at therentnerd@gmail.com. That email's for channel business only, so I check it on a daily basis. Also, you can find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can find me at Rumble and Odyssey, The Renaissance Nerd. Thank you again. See you next time.